thank you, thank you, and thank you for taking the time, for not going to other appointments which you probably might have, and choosing to be here this evening. My name is Rudy Marikan. I'm also a lawyer like Ravi, who I adore, I love, and I respect. When I was allowed to cross paths with him, I knew at the time that he was meant to achieve greater heights, he was meant to do bigger things, and he was meant to make a difference to a lot of other people's lives. And I've said to him a million times. And many a times when he goes through such pain, such nightmare, such misery, and such despair, I'm grateful to the Lord that I'm asked to be by his side and make a difference wherever I can. We are all here to make a difference to everybody's life, but not many of us can do that. I am so proud of my friend and so proud that despite the difficulties he would have to face, I share, maybe not in such a high percentage, the love he has got for humans, the love he has got to do good things to humans. And that's why till this day, even though he's highly controversial, I'm still by his side. And today, we are all gathered here because we are honoring and we are launching this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful publication. And I have to tell you guys that during the launch of his first book, Hung at Dawn, I was also there. And I'm so grateful to God that when Ravi came to me and said, can you be the master of ceremony? I mean, what the hell is a master of ceremony? Just speak? No big deal. He has taken the trouble to put his thoughts, his feelings, his insecurities, his fear, and everything else which we all as humans feel. But we never dare to share it. We never dare want to face the evil, the devil, the things which haunt us. Me included. But God tells me that I've got this friend who needs to do this. So tonight I'm here, and I'm so grateful that all of you are here too. Because all of you know that as much as we live in such a beautiful country, we can make a lot of changes. We can protect the minorities. We can protect the people who are suppressed by the system. We can, and we have no other person. I have a practicing certificate just like him. But I'm not appointed to make that difference. It's him. We need to believe in God. Whether you're Buddhist, you're Hindu, you're Christian, you're whatever, I don't particularly need to place so much concern in that. But we all need to know that if we are guided by the desire to do those changes, we can. I'm so pleased to be tonight and to be here tonight. And I do know, this second publication, which is called Ravi, the Kampong boy, and so many of you here who secretly admire him, who secretly support him, who secretly say things in the media and say things in Yahoo News, but dare not make a difference. This is the person. There are many nights we cry together. There are many nights we are lost. There are many nights we don't know what the hell we are doing. And there are many nights we fear that we could be arrested at any point of time. But he fights on. He believes in what he believes. And that's why I say to him all the time, you are meant for bigger things. And as long as we are all alive, if we cannot achieve the wonderful things we want to achieve, we must always support the people who can do that. Because we, whether we like it or not, will be part of that wonderful history. So I thank you once again for being here. And thank you, each and every one of you, because this is a wonderful book. I will not be here unless I've read the book. Just like the last book called Hung at Dawn. I wanted to read it, I wanted to know his contents, I wanted to know what message he was getting to everyone. And I think it's a wonderful book, but it's not for me, that's my view. So let me just tell you, there are so many wonderful people who have been part of this wonderful act of God, which allowed him to produce this wonderful, wonderful book, which is called, you probably know. So let me call the person who totally believe in this individual, and there's so many of you here who secretly believe in this person, who just clap your hands quietly, but dare not come forward. But there's one person who totally, this will be the publishers, who wanted to do this. May I call you, Mr. Gentleman,
Thank you very much, Ravi. I feel that I don't have to say anything else. He has said all that I wanted to say on this. Of course, there's a cop-out statement, yeah? Thank you very much on behalf of Ethos Books for attending the launch of M. Ravi's Kampong Boy. And I must apologize to the gentleman who asked me, is this Ravi's first book? I said, yes. Alamak, I don't know where I was. I thought it was his first book because I published it. So in brackets, it is his first book with Ethos. And I hope many more to come. Let me give you a little story about how I got to publish this book. One afternoon last year, out of the blue, I do not know why, maybe he'll tell us later, this gentleman called and said, I'm M. Ravi. Tok, my jaw dropped. M. Ravi, that M. Ravi? I said, yes, Mr. Ravi. I have a manuscript, something to the effect, he said. I said, oh, and I wonder if you'd like to look at it. Of course! I must be mad to say no to M. Ravi's manuscript. I didn't know what it would be about. But after the first few soft copy chapters, I was hooked, totally. And in my life, I said, so far, I'm 56, old enough, since I'm a grandma to two kids, two grandkids. Yeah? I said, if I don't publish another book, I've published 2 books in my life that I'm very, very proud of. The first one is not under my label, but I did all the labor. And that's Teo So Lang's Beyond the Blue Gates. Reflection of a Political Prisoner. When I did that, I thought, wow, God is good to me. I've done such a good book. I don't mind for all my sins of publishing bad books before that. Then Ravi came along. I said, God, you gave me a double share of joy. And truly, I can die happy any moment now. And I mean it. I mean it. Any moment now, I can die happy. You know, from what Rudy said, you might just get the sense that this book is about Ravi's public persona, largely. Yeah? His fights, his tears over the cases he handled, the very painful death penalty cases, the high publicity cases, the embarrassing ones, and so on and so forth. But what caught me in this manuscript is his sincerity and utter frankness. You don't write about your family in this way, yet he wrote it so gently, so sensitively, that if I were a family member, I wouldn't feel insulted that was talked about in this book in this way. But more important, the second thing that I shared with Ravi in this book, in this process of producing this book, is our manic depressive condition. I told him at our first meeting, hey, I'm like you, sama. Very high like right now. Very low. In the depths of despair when my friends were arrested in 87. It made me deliver my second child 2 weeks prematurely in 87. That bad. But that's life that God gives us, you know, the ups and downs. And Ravi has fully fully shared all his ups and downs, I feel, in this book. Of course, it might have other secrets hidden. I hope they will come in his third book, fourth book, etc. And I will make, okay, let me explain a little why I'm speaking tonight. It would have been the pleasure of my husband, the publisher, Fong Ho Fang, to launch this book. But unfortunately, he's away in London for a book fair, and he thought he could book his return on the 24th of April. Bagi orang tua lah sudah. He kena confirm for 4th of May, together with another friend who is traveling with him. And that dear friend is Vincent Cheng. So the two of them happily will come back on 4th of May after all this fun is over. And I get to speak for once. I think we all rather listen to Ravi. And thank you for cooperating, coming in early. I'm such a stickler for time because I was a police cadet corps member, sergeant. I was a prefect all the way through. Can you imagine prefect being late? No way. So I thank you for helping me to start the proceedings punctually. And we'll end punctually with deep thanks to the Arts House for granting us the use of this venue. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you and thank you. Remember, in life, we cannot do anything unless we find that one person who believes in us and that one person who wants to do the work of which everybody will go, no, we're not going to do that because it's dangerous. So we say thank you to the publisher. And remember, this book is not supposed to fight with anybody. This book is supposed to refine. This book is supposed to understand what this man is about. As I say to you, Ravi and I are both not laughing to the bank. People say that we are both lawyers and we should be making so much money. Money is the last thing we want from people who are so dysfunctional, families who are so dysfunctional, and families who need us help. And this is why I say to you again and again and again, God have chosen him and me. I'm not supposed to do such great heights with him. And when you're not motivated by money, like most Singaporeans, I have 5 brothers who are lawyers. I'm the youngest. And they all, thank God I became a lawyer. And all of them have got huge houses, big cars and everything else. But it seems that I'm the happiest. It seems that I'm the one smiling all the time. It seems that I'm the one who's not playing the game. I'm not playing the game, for I'm not going to impress the Joneses. And this is where I share with my friend. And he shares with me. We're not out here to make money out of the people who are underprivileged, people who are underdogs, people. How many times, Ravi, have come to me and said, you know, I wish I have the money, but we are not born rich, Ravi, we're not. We both came from a similar background. Very underprivileged, very difficult, struggling. Maybe mine not as challenging as him. He, if you read the book, I have to tell you a little bit about the book, but I think he will tell you in his own way. But, you know, when you read the book, I met him a few days ago, and he said to me, you know, I'm letting out something which is so private in my life. I'm letting the public know where I came from, what I'm all about. Do you think I'm making a mistake, Rudy? I said, no. Because we have reached such heights of which we could never reach unless it was a blessing from the Lord. Whether, as I say again, whatever denomination you may be. Because we have reached that heights. We have to say goodbye to all the devils, to all the bad things. And we can only do that if we share with other people. If people want to laugh, oh my God, he was this, he was that, he was this, he came from this background, let them laugh. For we have said goodbye to all that. We have said goodbye to all that. How many of you here have said goodbye to all the devils which have been haunting you for so many years and preventing you from reaching the success of which you are supposed to reach? He wrote that book. It's going to be painful, but he has reached that stage where he said, you know what? I want to say goodbye to that. And you know what, Ravi? I want to say goodbye to so many of the things which have been haunting me for many, many years, but never had the guts to address it. If you take the trouble to read the book, it's Ravi putting himself in the most vulnerable state. Vulnerability is good. Vulnerability is acknowledging what we had no choice. We have no choice in our parents, no choice in our background, no choice in what our friends and so on and so forth, but what we have become. Ladies and gentlemen, may I bring to you Mr. M. Ravi.
I'm so happy that I see so many faces here tonight. And for those who are at the back, there are so many seats here. Maybe you can come forward.
Yeah, please.
Yes, please come forward.
Yeah. Let's have a good shot of
there's so many seats around here.
House.
There's so many seats around here.
Thanks, yeah. There are 2 seats here. Over here.
6, 8,
Yeah, there are more than that.
Yeah, there are
8
lots
seats
of-
there. Yeah.
Come, Wai Ting.
Right here.
Come, Sammy.
2 seats here in the middle
Come
here.
over.
Yeah. Come. So be forewarned, all ethos launches will attempt to be punctual. So you come earlier, makan first, and you come in the middle.
Of course, I also wish that you make some money also, lah. So they can publish more books. Yes, I'm so happy to see so many faces here tonight. This is one of the biggest evenings of my life. And I'm so pleased that you all came along to share this event with me. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a number of people who made this book possible. First of all, I would like to thank the people who for a number of years told me that I should produce my memoirs, and then encouraged to keep going after what I had thought was a very, very difficult journey for me. Some of these people are here tonight. My long-time law firm partner, Violet Neto, where are you? She's been an immense support all these years. And a godmother and the spirit behind the pipe. And my good buddy, Rudy Marikan, who was coming to you earlier. My NUS schoolmate, Dore Raju. And Mr. Michael Darwin, who is now in Seychelles. He's my mentor, but he sends his blessings. I must say that I have to express my profound gratitude to 2 people, the guiding lights of ethos, Chan Wai Han and Ho Fang. You know why? For having had the courage to publish this book.
It was a very easy choice.
Okay. But you had a lot of difficult time on Lee Kuan Yew's chapter, you know. Not any grammatical corrections or anything of that sort. Just the name and the defamation suit, she panicked and all. Okay, so you know there's a defamation suit there. Miss Chi Seok Chin is also part of that suit. And she's here. It was a wonderful, inspiring moment to be with all these people fighting these cases. And when I was writing this book, many people told me, Ravi, you may have to self-publish it. And just like Hung and Dawn, I had to self-publish it. Because they said, many publishers would be scared off by hearing the name M. Ravi. But I was pleasantly surprised that you were pleasantly surprised when you heard me on the phone. And of course I know who to approach now, you know. So Wai Han and Ho Fang have shown that there are some in the Singapore publishing field who are still interested in works that are not safe, not in the mainstream, not on any approved list of works. Now, coming back to a very basic question. Why this book? Many lawyers may not be comfortable with the kind of spotlight. For almost a decade, I have maintained a very public profile. There have been quite a few distortions and misconceptions about this public profile that I have been holding. I'm not saying that I never contributed to any one of them, in absolving myself of everything, but I decided to tell the real story as thoroughly as possible, to clarify certain matters and perhaps correct some misconceptions. After all, we are not perfect. And through this book, I would also like to connect with many people in this region and those in the international community. During recent years, I have spoken at several international forums in Asia, Nigeria, European Parliament in Strasbourg, all these places. During these foreign exchanges, several people have asked me not only probing questions about Singapore, but also about myself. And I hope through this book, they will also satisfy their curiosity. Through this book, I would like to take the readers on a unique journey with me, with all the highs and lows of that journey, and to re-engage with all the highs and lows of my life's journey so far and look at them with fresh eyes. A celebrated American author, Philip Roth, once noted, "For the writer, nothing bad really happens. It's all material." When I look back at my life and the last several years of my career as a lawyer, I agree entirely with Mr. Roth. Experiences that I counted as negative at the time, I've used as material in my book. But you know what? This story was always changing. What to do? I have such a colorful lifestyle. So many things happening so fast, you know. So I decided to continue the story as it was unfolding, even, for instance, in the last stages of putting together the book. I had my encounter with the Law Society of Singapore, which probably you all will remember. It did put a lot of strain on me, even affecting our final putting together the final touches on the manuscript. I must say the whole process of producing this book has been such a roller coaster ride. And I believe I have taken some of you on that wild ride of risings, dips, sweeps, and plunges. And I do ask for forgiveness if I have offended any one of you one way or the other along this journey. But this evening, the final product of all our labor is here today. And for me, I must say, the whole journey has been well worth it. A good book, especially memoirs, is a unique voice captured in print. And I would like to express my gratitude to all those people who have helped me to bring out my voice to a wide public by publishing this book. I hope this will be part of a new conversation, a new dialogue that will energize and push our society ahead. Aside from my contribution to this conversation, I hope this book will also encourage others to let their voices heard. The good and great of our society, Singapore, is always talking about how Singapore is a cosmopolitan, world-class city. But to be truly a world-class city, you need a major chorus, a symphony of many different voices heard. I may not agree with all the voices that are there speaking or wanting to be heard. Neither I know that people do not agree or may not agree with my views, but it's important that there are many voices ready to speak and that they all be heard. Again, I express my profound gratitude to Wai Han and Ho Fang for seeing that my voice is heard. And I wish to thank all of you here tonight, and those of you who aren't here tonight, for taking the trouble to buy this book and to read and to share in the conversation. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
I need to give you a hug. Let's give you a hug. That's what life is about. What life is about is making a difference to other people. Okay, I've been told by Wai Han she needs to make an announcement.
You know, ethos does not believe in formality. The book looks like a real book. It's a formal thing. But behind that, the energies and the excitement that we hope to generate in this national conversation, in this international conversation, in this human conversation, we hope you will share too. So, although it's a book launch for Ravi, and he's going to write all his nice things for you in the autograph, I hope you will also do him the courtesy. Leave him a word of encouragement. We've prepared an autograph pad. This table is beyond the food table. There's a blue tablecloth, there's a bouquet of flowers. So please, write something for him. Yeah? And after this, I think Rudy would like to invite you all to just ask questions or just share in this chat tonight with them. Thank you.
Thank you, publisher. Okay, always remember, right? You have taken the trouble to be here because you are honoring someone who has got the guts, got the bravery, and has got someone who believes in him, and hence a book is born. All of you can do the same thing. All of you can achieve that. You just need the right people. I have stopped admiring other people for a very long time. because I know when I met Ravi, my duty is just to support him and give him strength. And I've said to him a million times, right? I said to him a million times, I said, Ravi, you know what? I can't reach the success of which you are supposed to reach, but I love you enough to be wanting to be there to make sure you get there. And if you remember me as part of that journey, great. If you don't, too bad. Because we're not going to haunt him. So as much as we're inspired by his work, inspired by what he's doing, and you know, it's a difficult battle. It's a really difficult battle. But I know tonight, as much as I have as much influence, but not as much influence as Ravi, I do know only one thing. Each and every one of you here can